In the summer of 1971, 10 students who had agreed to participate in Zimbardo's prison experiment for $15 a day were arrested in their homes and sent to the Stanford County Prison, a mock prison located in the psychology department of Stanford University, where they were set to be held prisoner for the next 2 weeks. Also participating in this experiment were 11 children who by a coin flip were designated to play the role of prison guards. What followed was an unimaginable series of events that appeared to bring out the worst in both the prisoners and the guards. Guards controlling the prisoners by firing skin-chilling carbon dioxide from fire extinguishers at them, using physical abuse such as standing on the prisoners' backs whilst they did push-ups. Prisoners fighting with the guards, rebelling, having emotional breakdowns. Now this evil, argued Zimbardo, this uncharacteristic brutality of the generally good-mannered and civilised students, was not the result of participants' personalities, but a result of the situation and the system in which the evil occurred. At first sight, it might not appear that learnings from this experiment can apply to a school environment. However, there are issues of power, hierarchy, and creation of social norms that are reflected in schools every day. I started here at King Alfred School in Year 7, having come from a state primary school where we called teachers by their surnames. This was different to King Alfred School, where we called teachers by their first names. I was shy, introverted, and a little shut down after 8 years of wearing hearing aids at school due to having a hearing condition called glue ear, which caused me to have about 60% hearing. For me, there was something about calling teachers by their first names that made me feel as though school was a home from home. Within days, I stopped wearing hearing aids, as for the first time in a school environment, I felt safe and secure enough to do so, and this had a profound effect on my confidence. I believe one of the critical reasons for my transformation was due to calling teachers by their first names. And whilst I understand this is only one aspect of an ideal learning environment, I believe it has a lot of symbolic importance. When the guards were assigned their roles in Zimbardo's prison, they behaved in line with a template of how they perceived guards to act in a prison setting. And similarly, calling teachers by their surnames sets up a template of power and hierarchy, and this can create a barrier between teachers and students, as the teacher's title is like a master of authority. This can inhibit the ability for teachers and students to work cooperatively. Is it possible that a traditional top-down structure, where teachers are referred to by their surnames, encourages students to take a passive role in their learning, rather than an active role which we know fosters independent learning? There is a part of the brain called the amygdala, which you could describe as our smoke detector, responsible for detecting fear and preparing the body for an emergency response. The amygdala is constantly scanning our environment, as if asking 2 questions. Am I safe? Do I matter? When the answer to these questions is yes, the whole brain has the ability to function. A safe brain means we can think harder about tasks, persevere more, set higher goals. When the answer to these questions is no, this triggers us into a stress system. It cuts off all the things we need for learning. We become like a scared animal trying to find safety. Calling teachers by their surnames can make students' amygdalas feel like no, they're not safe and they don't matter, inhibiting integrated learning. I believe that calling teachers by their surnames is an out-of-date concept, and calling teachers by their first names instead can act as a proxy for a more welcoming and a more nurturing school environment, which is what I experienced firsthand in coming to secondary school. Thank you, teachers, for letting me call you by your names. It has truly transformed me. Thanks for listening.